everybody, my name is Kelly and today we're going to be going over the recipe for the holiday peppermint bark. This is a great option, especially going into the holiday seasons where things tend to be pretty loaded with sugar. For an option that's sweet, it's got the right amount of crunch to it, kind of tastes like a crunch bar, except we're going to have that high iron, high protein, and high fiber content. So let's get into it. I'm going to be wearing a hat to keep my hair tucked in. I've got a hairnet on the back. We are going to put on gloves when we start working with the food. That's of course not necessary if you're just at home and you're doing this for you or your family. But if you're making anything to be served for other people, it's wise to practice food safety. So that's how we're going to do this demonstration today, but let's get into it. First thing you're going to need, just a regular fry pan here. We've got a double boiler. You can do this on the stove top as well. If you have a convection top, that's personally how I like to do it. That'll keep a nice even temperature. We're gonna be doing a very simple recipe today. I've got 12 ounces of quinoa. We have pure avocado oil. We've got Lily's style. There's gonna be two styles for this. We've got dark chocolate and white chocolate. These are both no sugar added options. If you are sensitive to sugar alcohols, I do recommend trying something different. These are sugar alcohol. It's how you get that sweetness without the sugar added in there. But if you want to do something that is a little bit higher calorie and maybe does have some sugar in, but you want to do something organic, so you're not worried about all those chemicals, that's an option for you as well. Got peppermint extract. That's going to give us that nice minty flavor. Some tablespoons, measuring spoons here, a liquid measuring cup, butter, and just your utensils. So first thing we're gonna do is turn on the stove. I like to do a nice medium heat. So put that on about a 6 and 7. If you have a gas burner, whatever medium is for you there, we're gonna get this nice and hot. Okay, open your quinoa. We're gonna pour that right into the fry pan. So we're not gonna be cooking the quinoa traditionally, the way you might do it when you actually add it in the water and boil it down and you get that really nice, beautiful, soft quinoa, which opens the kernel. We're just gonna be toasting it. The reason we're doing this is we wanna get a little bit of a crunch on it, but we wanna keep that toothsome nature that you've got with the quinoa, so when it's all in the chocolate and incorporated together, you've got a nice crunch and a nice bite. So we're gonna leave this for a minute. While that's toasting, we're gonna keep an eye on it. We wanna make sure not to burn it, but while that's toasting, we're gonna get the double boiler going. So for the double boiler, we're just gonna get this started on a medium. I'm gonna hit start. That's going. Take the top, let's take it off to the side for now. We're gonna get some water and put that right in there. So the way this is gonna work is we're gonna fill this up with just a little bit of water. It's really important to know that you don't wanna put so much water in it that it's touching the bottom of the pot. You wanna put about maybe 2 inches of water in. And the way this is gonna work is this is gonna heat up. That heat is gonna create steam. Steam is gonna rise up, hit the bottom of this top pot here, and that heat's gonna transfer to the contents. So we're gonna get that going. We're gonna start with the dark chocolate. Just a pair of clean kitchen scissors. Cut that right open. And you're just gonna pour the entire contents, we've got 9 ounces of here, right into your double boiler. Now the key to this is just being patient. You have to just know the chocolate is going to melt. It's gonna look like nothing's happening for a minute, but just trust the process, let it go. You don't need to kick the heat up. Medium heat is fine. This is gonna start melting. As this is starting to melt, we're gonna get 2 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna put that right in there. If you want, you put the top on, I'll keep the heat in. You wanna make sure you have a top that's gonna let steam escape, so it should have a little hole in the top. Because we don't want that water to have condensation on the top and then drip back into our chocolate. Because chocolate and water are natural enemies when you're trying to melt it. So let's leave it alone. We'll leave that there for a minute, let that go in. Checking on the quinoa, still looking good. Give it a little twist. It's starting to get a really nice kind of light brown, which is what you wanna go for. We don't want it to burn, we don't want to cook. You'll be able to smell it if it starts burning. So we're gonna let this go here. I'm gonna give that about 2 more minutes. By the time that that's done toasting, chocolate should be kind of melted. We're gonna combine that all together, and that is the first step done. Now I wanted to bring you in and show you this. You can see the steam is starting to come up as we were talking about earlier. That's how this system works. So that steam, you wanna see that. We're gonna take this top off here. If you look in here, you can see the chocolate is starting to melt. That's exactly what we wanna have happen. So we're gonna slow and steady, just keep mixing this here and get that chocolate. We want the butter and the chocolate to all kind of incorporate together. All right, let's bring you in here. I'm gonna show you kind of what the consistency of the chocolate should look like, and you know you're ready to put your quinoa in your mix. So we've got a nice even coating the spoon. It's thick, but it's still got a little bit of runniness to it, so we're gonna be able to coat that quinoa. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that quinoa from our pan directly in here. I'm gonna turn off our convection top right now, so we don't need it to keep producing heat. We've already got the chocolate hot enough. we are going to, however you prefer to do this. If you want to work with a spoon, if your pot is wide enough that you can actually just dump it all in, that's great. I'm going to use a spoon. So we're going to get this in here, with quinoa, and we're just going to spoon this quinoa right into the chocolate mix. Quinoa is a little bit slippery in the sense that it kind of likes to hop around like corn kernels. So we're just going to be using this to just gently make sure we don't spill quinoa all over the kitchen floor and cause ourselves a full cleanup disaster. And voila! Okay, we'll put that off to the side. Now, you're just gonna take this pot right here, and all you're gonna do is just slowly flip the chocolate with your spatula up and over. And the goal is you wanna get all of the quinoa covered, and it's going to come together and it's gonna create kind of a pretty like thick mass. Quinoa to chocolate ratio is about 1:1. You've got 12 ounces of quinoa to 9 ounces of chocolate. We did add a couple tablespoons of butter. So your soft to solid ingredients are pretty equal. I'm gonna get this beautiful incorporation of your quinoa and your chocolate. So we're gonna take this quinoa chocolate, we're just going to move the entire contents onto a tray. Now, you can use parchment paper, you can use wax paper, whatever you wanna do, makes no difference because you're not cooking it. Wax paper is absolutely fine. Parchment paper is a better option if it's going into any sort of heat. So if you're cooking something on parchment paper, it's better than wax paper. You don't want to transfer that wax. I'm gonna take a fork. This is what I've found is the easiest way to do it. We'll scrape everything off with the spatula there. Spatula can work, but I do find that sometimes the quinoa has a tendency to stick to the spatula. It's more aggravation than it's worth. So just taking the back of a fork, you're just gonna start smooshing this down. And the goal is to get a nice even layer on the entire bottom of the pan here. You want to still work with it while it's hot. As this starts to get room temperature, and certainly as it starts to get cold, that chocolate's gonna just harden back up and it becomes very difficult to work with. So, just working right there. You will find this gets easier as you go as well. So once you get that first initial ball of quinoa and chocolate, the rest is kind of taking the back and forth. And what you're gonna do is press and drag, press and drag. Press and drag, it gets it all the way out to the corners. You're gonna do that to get a nice even layer on the entire rectangle jelly roll pan. So let's take a look and see how we're doing. You'll see you've got a nice even layer of all the quinoa and chocolate. It's all spread out to all 4 layers at the edge of the pan. We are ready to put this in the fridge, and we're gonna let it there for 10 minutes. Let it just get set enough so when we put the white chocolate on top, it's not falling through any of the cracks in there. It doesn't mix with the chocolate. All right, everyone, it's been about 10 minutes, so we're gonna get started on the white chocolate now. So we're gonna turn our boiler back on. What we're gonna do is the same thing, but this time we're working the white chocolate. So get our scissors, 9 ounces Lily's white chocolate. Cut the top off right there. Contents go right into the pan. This time, I'm gonna use a little bit of avocado oil. It's just a little bit healthier oil. We've already done some butter, which is gonna give us some of that nice umami, nutty flavor in the first batch of chocolate. For this, we're gonna go with an avocado oil again. This is gonna just help the chocolate melt. It's gonna help everything kind of be a little bit more cohesive, but it's a little bit of a heart healthier friendly oil. So, avocado oil, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons. So using our measuring spoon, make sure you got the right size here. This is a 1 tablespoon, so we'll do 2 of those. Right into the chocolate. And as always, you're using a double boiler. We're just gonna be patient. Now this is starting to melt. We're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of the peppermint extract, and that's gonna give it that nice holiday flavor that we're going for. So again, make sure you got the right size. 1/2 teaspoon right there. If that doesn't feel like enough, just trust the process. It is very, very potent, and it's going to get all coated in there. 1/2 teaspoon is plenty. All right, everybody, so this is just about done. So we're gonna go to the fridge and we're gonna go get our tray where we have that chocolate and quinoa that should be just about set at this point. And it's perfect. You can actually see if you lift it, it's gonna be just a little pliable, but we don't wanna break it just yet. We're gonna leave it just like this. All right, now that we've got that white chocolate totally melted, we're just gonna pour that right over the top. Now this time, because we're in a liquid state, spatula is absolutely fine. Make sure you turn off anything that's hot, keep yourself safe. For the top, we're just gonna put this back in the fridge. I usually like to let it set for about 30 minutes in the fridge. Make sure that the chocolate is completely set. It should be cold to the touch, and when you go to prick up an edge, it should break. I like nice, even little squares, so I'll take a knife, actually score the top, and that'll help you break along those lines, and you'll get these beautiful little squares. So you can see here, we've got the layer with the dark chocolate, quinoa, white chocolate top. That's where all your peppermint flavor is gonna be. This is where all your nutrients are gonna be in that quinoa. And you've got an absolutely delicious, high fiber, high iron, high protein holiday snack.